Yeah, we're gonna be here a while. Welcome to the PvZ2 Reflourished Nuzlocke series, inspired by Pac-Manius and Mr. Marinara, and personally modified to make it even slightly possible. If you don't know what a Nuzlocke is, it's a challenge in Pokemon where if a Pokemon faints, it is dead, and cannot be used for the rest of the run. In PvZ, it's the same deal, but it's literally impossible without modifying the rules. Neither of the YouTubers I mentioned have been able to beat either PvZ1 or PvZ2 because both games have levels that just kill runs. So, I've made it my personal job to make it possible, and also do it in Reflourished since nobody has done that yet. So here are the rules. 1. Every plant has 3 lives every level. Meaning if a plant were to be removed from the lawn in any way 3 times, it is no longer plantable. 1A. The only exceptions to this rule are gimmick instants like Lily Pad and Gravebuster, which are required to use a lot in some levels, along with other plant exceptions that I'll get to later. You can also use the shovel on a plant 2 times before they start counting for lives. 2. Pre-placed plants / endangered plants will not be counted when they are lost, but they are usually there to show something off or give some sort of challenge. 3. The only levels that will be counted are ones where you can choose your seeds. Partial choose your seeds levels do count, but given plants levels don't. 4. Epic quests and realms are completely optional, but give an opportunity to unlock and or revive a dead plant. 5. Purchasable plants are on the table, since I don't have to pay for them in Reflourished. 6. Power-ups are banned unless a plant has already been lost that level, and only freebies are allowed. 7. Zen Garden boosts are allowed, and to make them more useful, they can either add 2 lives to the boosted plant for the level, or revive them for the level assuming they already died. 8. Game overs don't count towards anything, mostly to counteract certain objectives from randomly killing runs. And number 9. The run starts once you obtain the Iceberg Lettuce and ends once Collisionist Carnival and Assault Airspace are completed. If you want a more in-depth explanation of these rules, I'd like to instruct you to click the card that will show up right about now. Without further ado, let's dive into my first attempt at the PvZ2 Reflourished Nuzlocke. After collecting the hot sauce, traveling to the past, and collecting our first 3 plants, Cabbage Pult, Bloomerang, and Iceberg Lettuce, we are ready to begin the run. We complete days 6 and 9, getting a key to the Pirate Seas and the Gravebuster along the way. We skip days 7 and 8 because they are Mummy Memory and Conveyor Belt levels respectively, which both don't count, and so they will not be covered, along with the rest of the levels that don't count. So if you see me skip a level, don't go raging in the comments, you already know why I skipped it. Day 9 is also the first time we see the Explorer Zombie, who will instantly kill plants he comes in contact with, so we'll need to be careful when he's around. As I show the next few levels, allow me to explain some strategies and plant exceptions that are relevant in Ancient Egypt. Firstly, I use Cabbage Pult a lot because of its plant food ability, which deals 200 damage to every zombie on the lawn, which is really useful for clearing out most of the levels in the world, both due to how frail most zombies are and how much plant food the game spoon feeds you. Gravebuster is among the first of the plants with exceptions, that being that it doesn't lose lives unless it is defeated by a zombie or some hazard, due to it being required to beat the Dark Ages. Potato Mine also has an exception that doesn't get used in Ancient Egypt, and it's in regard to its plant food clones. Plant clones spawned by any means will not count towards the plant's life, since that would make certain plant foods and Spore Shroom completely useless. Now that we got some important exceptions out of the way, we unlock the Bonk Choy, which we will be putting in our pocket for the time being, as it will be useful in certain levels. After a bit of a close encounter in day 14, we move on to our first endangered plants level in day 15, where we put Bonk Choy to use by providing extra protection to the lanes with the endangered sunflowers, all the while spamming Cabbage Pults everywhere else. Day 17 is our first plant limit level, and we don't really have many problems because of the low zombie density and enough plant food to take out any threatening waves, which earns us an extra plant food slot, which doesn't really mean anything for us right now, but it might come in handy later. We encounter our first last stand level in day 18, which kinda passes by like any other Ancient Egypt level due to its low difficulty. Day 19 sees our first double objective, those being mold colonies and plant limit, which ends up being problematic due to not being able to just spam iceberg lettuces, and almost loses us our sunflower. Thankfully, I keep my cool and use Bonk Choi to protect top lane from a buckethead that would have otherwise killed off our only sun production till the end of the world. From this level, we earn Repeater, who we'll be using later. In the meantime, it's off to day 20, where we now have to protect 4 sunflowers. It ends up being the same thing as day 15, but there's way more plant food and cabbage pulse on the field, so it's just as easy as the last one. Day 22 is the return of the mold colony and plant limit combo, which once again causes us issues, but this time due to less plant food, larger hordes, and tankier zombies, which nearly loses us our walnuts. But some smart uses of the shovel prevent us from permanently losing any plants. Man, that was also tough. Our second last stand and the final level for Ancient Egypt is contained in day 24, where we see our first use of Repeater, who takes care of the hordes and tanky zombies without many issues, and nets us our second sun producer in the twin sunflower. We swiftly defeat the Zombot Sphinxinator on day 25 and set sail for the Pirate Seas, which we'll be covering in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. This has been an idea of mine for a while, and wouldn't have been possible without Pac-Manius and Mr. Marinara, so do me a favor and go check them out on YouTube, links in the description below. And before you do that, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button. This is my second attempt at a YouTube channel, and I'm trying to start out strong. Please also join my new Discord server, also linked in the description. It is completely reworked compared to the old one, and I would be happy to welcome you all in. That will be all for today. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.